Hi, I'm Mitch. I'm here with my dad to show you how to install fog lights on a 2005 Subaru Impreza. To complete this project, you'll need the following items: a 10mm socket, Phillips head screwdriver, flathead screwdriver, a plug remover, stripper and cutters. You'll need a crimping tool, solder, a soldering iron, electrical tape, 16 gauge wires, female crimp connectors, as well as heat shrink. I got this fog light kit online from Remix Custom for $129. The kit includes 2 fog lights, and for each side there are 3 10mm bolts, 2 threaded clips, 1 push fastener, a metal bracket, a wire connector with leads, and a plastic bumper insert. These bumper inserts are blue and my car is silver, so that doesn't really work, but the ones that come with the car work fine. These fog lights have LED halos. That's why there are 2 sets of wires in the back.
We made the connectors for the halos by taking about 8 or 10 inches of 16 gauge wire and crimped on female snap connectors.
Before doing any electrical work on your car, you should disconnect the battery. And if you're putting in the halos the same way that I am, you'll end up having to take the battery out anyways. Start by removing the plastic bumper insert. There will be 5 clips that you will need to remove. And tucked away, you should find that there is already wiring for your fog lights.
We decided to connect the halos to the headlight wires. So on the passenger side, to get at the wires, first remove this plastic, looks like an air inlet, which doesn't seem to have any function on this car, but it may be something that the turbo model uses. The headlight connector is down here. There's a tab on the underneath that you can't really see, but if you push up, it's on it, and then pull the connector out. That's the tab I was talking about. On the passenger side, the positive connector is the blue with a green stripe, and the negative is the yellow with a red stripe. So I'm going to strip the insulation on the wires and then solder in the connector I made earlier for the halos. I'm taking a utility knife and trimming off the insulation, but making sure not to cut the copper wires, because I want to keep from cutting those, and I want to solder in the leads that are going to go to the halos. Now I'm going to solder the halo leads onto in parallel with the headlight wires. And you can get crimp-on splice connectors, but I prefer to solder. We also measured the halos connected to the battery, and they drew about 17 milliamps, not a whole lot of current. Oops. A little heat shrink. a little electrical tape. Now the leads can be fed down through a hole in the body that leads down to where the fog lights go. Can't really see it, but there's a hole down there. And reconnect the headlight. And down below you can see the two wires. They are the wires for the halo. On the driver's side, it's the same, except that the wires are, the red with the blue stripe is positive and the yellow with the red stripe is negative. And you'll probably want to remove the battery to get better access to it.
It wasn't apparently obvious to us to how the bracket actually fit inside the car. So then, after about 20 minutes of tampering, we thought about putting the fog light on the bracket. It then became apparent to us how the bracket would be oriented. So the first step is to take the higher corner of the bracket, slide that into the car, and make sure it is behind the plastic. Next, take a push pin, put that through the aligned holes, and then your next step is to take the tab on the lower part of the plastic and slide that through the bumper. Next, take one of the 10mm bolts and tighten that down. Now, underneath the car, next, take the connector that is already in the car and put that to the connector that came with the kit. Once that's all done, you can connect your homemade wiring to the wires that are on the fog light.
We also put a little heat shrink at the back end of the connectors just to provide a little insulation. Just red to red, black to black. And these
Threaded clips.
Threaded clips, put those facing down on the, or two little tabs on the bottom of the fog light housing. Slide those on. They're going to line up with two holes and you have to bolt those from beneath. So slide that into the bracket, all the way back. And next I'll have to bolt the fog light in from underneath. Next, it helps to jack the car up to get a little better access underneath to install the 2 bolts that will hold the fog light in place. So really just to get at it, there are 2 of the push fasteners. There's one right here. You can use a screwdriver or fastener connector removal tool like this. And then this fastener here. So, just to show where they are, the 2 fasteners are in the corner here and towards the front, and this whole part of it just peels back, and you can see the bottom of the fog light. So just take the bolts, thread them into the threaded inserts. Those wires up out of the way. And replace the fasteners. Oops.
One of the final steps you'll need to do is take out the plastic filler that's been sitting in the fog light. Next, put this back in to its original position. Push all the clamps back in so you hear them click. And that's it for the front. So the kit comes with a relay and a switch, and I'm about to show you how to install these. First thing what we'll want to do is to take off the lower dash. This is not a hard task, it only has 3 screws and 3 clips. The first screw we're going to undo here is a pop screw right on the side. Take this out, and I like to put them in the door card or door handle, whatever you want to call this. Kind of keeps them nice and safe, won't roll around, won't lose them. Your other screw is right above where you open your hood. So it is right in here. And the final screw will be kind of hard to see, but where it is, it's all the way to the right and under the dash here. So next are the clips. These take a little bit of oomph to get off. And the last one is over to the right of the steering wheel. So under here, we have 3 cables. Don't worry about these 2. There's not a lot of weight holding them. So your car will come with this, which is going to connect to your fog light switch. So once you have that placed in the desired hole, it should hook right up to it. And in here in a blank spot right between these two different relays, you're going to want to place your relay, which came with your kit, and make sure that it's nice and snug. Alright, and to put this back up, you're going to want to do your clips first. Make sure they're nice and tight, and redo the screws, and you should be good to go. So don't forget to reconnect your battery, and let's test them out. Fog lights, high beams, low beams. Sweet. Hi, I'm Mitch. I'm here to show you how to